Hello out there, and welcome to the first episode of a wrestling podcast. My name is Rob, and I'm absolutely floored that is the year 2024. Nobody has chosen this as a podcast name yet. That is unbelievable to me. But here we are. Saturday Night Main Event just got done, and I'm not necessarily in my feelings or anything like that. No need for an emergency podcast. Shout out to Sam Roberts, the pod. The what do they call him? The podcast tribal chief. But if Sam Roberts is the podcast tribal chief and Conrad's the pod father, what does that make Van Vliet? I don't know. Anyway, so Saturday Night Main Event just got done, and I'm sitting here wanting to talk about it. And I figured, what a great way to start off a podcast, right? So, real quick, for those that may not know me, my name is Rob. I am the co host of Horror Wars, and I've been doing podcasting for many, many years. And this is kind of like my first foray into professional wrestling podcasting, which I've been a fan of since I was about 3 or 4 years old, and I'm 40. So, needless to say, I would like to get into everything. I do have a bit of predictions that my friends and I did before I get into everything. So it's kind of something that you're gonna come to expect on this show. I'm gonna do a little bit of an opening. Then we're gonna get to some news. Then if there's like a premium live event or a pay-per-view, I like to get all of my friends' predictions in before I talk to them about everything, and then I'll discuss the show with them. So I'm going to do a little bit of that, like put their predictions out there, put mine out there, see who was right, see who was wrong, kind of give a review of the show, and we'll see what else is going to happen for this, because I don't have a script. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So let's have some fun here. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so like I said a little bit ago, I have some predictions here. Yeah, Saturday Night Main Event's done. I already know. We already discussed that. But I got some predictions here from some of my friends, and I just kind of want to put them out there, see what they got right and what they got wrong. So, my friend JD said Chelsea, Drew, Liv, Finn, and Cody. That looks like that's 4 out of 5, right? Yep. Let's see who else we got. My friend Lewis said Chelsea, Drew, EO, Gunther, and Cody. So 4 out of 5, but in a different way, because EO Sky didn't win, Gunther did. My friend Barry, he said Chelsea, Drew, Liv, Cody, and Gunther. And I believe that is a 100% correct card. And my friend Brandon said Meechin, but I just know Chelsea is going to win. So, he wanted Meechin, but Chelsea won instead. McIntyre, Liv, Gunther, and Rhodes. So, 4 out of 5, technically 5 out of 5. And let's see. I'm just going through my list here real quick. My buddy Joshua from Tennessee said that Meechin was going to win. Drew, Liv, Gunther, and Cody. 4 out of 5 again, but with Meechin that time. And we're rounding out here. My friend Jossie said that Meechin was going to win. Drew, Liv, and then he said Liv's going to win, and then Tiffy's going to cash in, then Gunther, and then Cody. So 4 out of 5, and unfortunately Tiffy didn't cash in. And we have my friend Steve. He thought Meechin, Sammy, EO, Damien, and Cody. Man, he got everything wrong but one. But to be fair, he hasn't watched wrestling in about a month, I guess, right? So you don't really know. And then getting to last but most certainly not least, my brother in the transcontinental podcast world, Mass MC, Mr. Sam. He said Chelsea, Drew, Liv, Gunther, and KO. 4 out of 5 wrong on KO. Man, so everybody kind of got 4 out of 5 right. My friends always come through with these predictions, so expect that to be part of something when it comes to the premium live events. No shade to AEW, but the majority of my friends watch WWE, so you'll get my predictions for pay-per-views from AEW or maybe Ring of Honor if I remember, or TNA or something like that. But for the majority, if you want like my friends' opinions or whatever, you're going to get those for the WWE premium live events. And obviously, I didn't give my predictions, but here they were. This is what I said before the show. I said Chelsea, Drew, Liv, Finn, and Cody. I kind of knew in my heart that Gunther was going to win, but I wanted Finn to get it. I wanted Finn to get some sort of recognition. I felt like he deserved it. But hey, at least he got on the card, right? Sorry about that. It's 11 o'clock. I'm not editing it out either. I told you this podcast is just going to be que sera, sera. So let's break down this card here. We had 5 matches, which is typical fare for the WWE anymore. Saturday night's main event came back after like the first time in forever. Jesse the Body Ventura really fucked up. Bro said that he hasn't been in the WWE in 40 years, but like literally, dude was the referee in SummerSlam. I think either 98 or 99. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Undertaker, Highway to Hell. And I think Michael Cole kind of called him out later on in the show. But to be honest with you, there wasn't anything really memorable about this show. And I'm not saying that to be rude or ignorant, but there wasn't any like big event. There wasn't any big thing that kind of stood out, right? We had 5 very quality matches, though. There wasn't really any time for skits or time for this or time for that. They treated it like a premium live event. If there was something that mattered, it was on. Now, I will say, with the addition of Finn Balor in that triple threat, that Gunther and Damian Priest, every time Gunther and Damian get together, for me, I think it's shit. Like I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat anything. Could I get in the ring and do any of that? Fuck no, absolutely not. I can't do it. But these guys just don't mesh. And I'm not saying it's shit because they're shit wrestlers. I'm saying it's shit because their styles don't mesh. Damian and Gunther just don't put on good matches together. It is what it is. Their in ring prowess is not negated because of that. It's just they don't put on good matches. They're pretty fucking boring. I don't know if it's because they over train for it, or well, not train but over, go over the match too much, or if they're just kind of flying by the seat of their pants like this podcast here. I'm not sure. But I'm not a big fan of their matches. Never have been. You add in Finn Balor and all of a sudden that became different, right? We got like more high flying, we got more fast paced action. It wasn't as plotting, it wasn't as just cumbersome as the other times they faced each other. Again, I think that the right person won. Gunther was right. But I also have that little soft spot in my heart that's like, Finn didn't even get 24 hours, you know? So maybe one day we'll get back to that. The next match I'm going to talk about, I guess we'll get Drew and Sammy out of the way here, right? Um, what a match. Just super solid from beginning to end. And the fact that Drew won clean in the ring, Claymore, boom, done. That's it. Solid. Walked out. The interview that he did on Busted Open a couple days ago was also fantastic and fabulous. Drew is really getting into his character here, and it shows. I'm glad he's having a good time with it. I'm glad he's making it very real, and I'm glad that he's making it his own. His mic work is impeccable. His in ring work is becoming some of the most solid the WWE has. This dude is more than just a steady hand or something like that. Drew McIntyre needs to be world heavyweight champion. I think he might I think he might be the person that should beat Gunther and kind of lead SmackDown, because I think that's where the World Heavyweight Championship's going. We know that they want Cody for Netflix, and if you're going to bring Cody on Netflix, you're bringing that WWE World Heavyweight Championship with you. You're bringing that undisputed, or not World Heavyweight, undisputed WWE Universal Championship. That's going to Raw. It's going to Netflix. But I do think, again, Drew would be a very good person to carry that World Heavyweight Championship banner onto SmackDown and let people like Finn and Gunther and Dragunov, when he comes back, all those people go after that World Heavyweight Championship. That would be magnificent. Start like a new SmackDown 6, you know what I mean? The next match I want to talk about is going to be Liv and Io. Lots of roll ups, lots of ass, lots of fan service. The ladies did a lot of basic things in the match. They knew what they were doing, they positioned themselves right. It is what it is. It was national exposure for them. I do wish they would have kind of did a little bit more in the realm of actual wrestling and not trying to show off as much of a sex pot as Liv is. We get it. It's in our face every week. I just wish that for the women's, was it the World Heavyweight Championship? Yeah, that they would have put a little bit more emphasis on the wrestling, like they did with Drew and Sammy and um, Gunther, Finn, and Damien. I wish they would have done that with Liv and Io, but it felt to me like they were really going for the sexualization with those two, and I wasn't really feeling it. On the other hand, Michin, Mia Yim, and Chelsea Green, they had a physical match. There was no real like fan service. There was no nothing like that. It was just a pretty physical match. Like they took it to each other. And congrats to Chelsea for winning the first ever Women's United States Championship. Undisputed Women's United States Champion, as Pat McAfee said. I do think that this is kind of a Chelsea Green get back, because if everybody remembers back in October, Mia Yim or Michin put Chelsea in the dumpster and she smelled for a few weeks. That storyline kind of dropped and went away. But now here we are, middle of December, and Chelsea wins her match, and she's the first ever Women's United States champion, undisputed Women's United States champion. All pretty solid matches so far, except for really the Liv and Io. It's shaky. Again, it was good for what it was. I feel like there was too much sexualization. Now for Cody and KO, these guys had one hell of a story going into this match, right? Like, they really put a lot of emphasis on this match. They really took it to a different storytelling level. I quite enjoyed how they made everything, but I will say a 10-minute match for these two just didn't feel like the end of the story. I know, I just said end of the story. Wow, word of the day, make Pee Wee Herman noises or some shit, right? So I don't feel like these guys are done. There was two ref bumps. There was Jesse Ventura trying to get in. There was a bunch of stuff. Ultimately, Cody wins 1, 2, 3. Jesse said something very interesting. Jesse the Body Ventura said something very interesting on commentary, saying that Cody was the one that cheated. KO's still right because KO introduced a chair to the ring. Both refs were down. He tried to swing. Cody hit him with the fucking crossroads on the chair. So now Jesse the Body's saying that Cody's a cheater and da 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 da. So again, another reason for KO to say that he's right and Cody's wrong, right? So I'm not sure if the Saturday night main event went off preemptively or if they kind of fucked up with time because when Charles Robinson went to go count, he counted from outside the ring. I'm not even sure if that's ever been done, but I guess it counts, right? As long as he had his hand on the rope, it counted apparently. And Jesse Ventura was just kind of making an ass out of himself out there. Yeah, he just he was kind of getting digs in and kind of jabbing on things, and I don't know. I guess that's what was meant to be, but either way, back to what I was just saying real quick. I think they fucked up on their time format because immediately after they went off air, like Cody was he was up and he was celebrating and everything, and about 2 minutes this whole thing happened where Cody went to go talk and say thank you for coming out, and KO came up and hit him with the pop-up power bomb and or the package pile driver, I'm sorry, and took the Winged Eagle Championship because yes, the Winged Eagle Championship made its reappearance tonight. Took that and fucking started going to the back, and there's Triple H. He comes out and he starts shoving them. They get into a screaming match. And I'm like, holy shit, don't have a fucking heart attack, you know? Like, we don't want that. And KO takes the Winged Eagle Championship and just kind of fucks off to the back. And then Triple H just fucks off to the side somewhere. And all right, I guess that's how we're going to end the show on the internet. This is like the second time this year they've done that, where the show wasn't officially done, but because somebody went over, somebody did something, the commercial break took too long, something wasn't figured in. They just like screwed the pooch a couple times. It happens, I get it, but for a company that's been like legitimately 40 some years in the live business and 25 almost 30 years doing pay-per-views and premium live events, like you should know time restrictions. You guys put on television shows Mondays and Tuesdays and Fridays, and you have shows on different streaming platforms, and they come on scheduled times, like and end on scheduled times. So it's not like you guys have no idea what scheduled timing is. I don't know. I think that's pretty much all I have for the WWE aspect of everything. I appreciate my friends not well, for their predictions, but they have no idea that they're being put into this episode. So that'll be fun. Um, I'm kind of excited to see what happens on Raw. I guess it's like 2 days, not even 2 days from now. It's Monday. It's already Sunday almost because I'm still recording. I don't know what else to say, right? AEW's picking up business. They're doing pretty good. This Tony Storm thing just kind of keeps going. That's something that I think I could talk about before I put the kibosh on this episode. Tony Storm has been pretty much the real bright spot of AEW when it comes to storytelling. Because right now, I'm not sure if this is a angle where she's got amnesia or if this is just the actor Tony Storm portraying her favorite wrestler Tony Storm. But like at the end of Collision, she was like, I never thought I'd be able to say this, but Tony Storm's all elite, and she was in her real Tony Storm gear, not the actress gear. It's all been a very fascinating ride. So I'm interested to see if they're going to turn this into amnesia, if they're going to turn it into just an actor playing an actress playing an actress playing a wrestler. I don't know. It's going to be fun. And I can also say the Continental Classic is really kind of kicking ass right now. Jay White, I have been a just downright mean doo-doo head to Jay White for the last 10 years. The dude's finally starting to grow on me. I don't know. Maybe he should win the Continental Classic. I don't know. I'm also interested to see this Diamond Ring match on Dynamite too. Yeah, man, wrestling's awesome, right? This is a fantastic time to be a professional wrestling fan. We've got nothing but awesome things happening. We've got premium live events, pay-per-views, quarterly shows on national television. Sorry, I just sat up there. And I'm going to take a look real quick because this also happened in the last day or so. All in ticket sales happened, and I'm going to see how many tickets have sold for All In if I can. Oh wow, they've cleared 1 million in ticket sales, and that was a few days ago. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and try to like eat up airtime or anything like that. That's kind of stupid. So, with that being said, I might do one more segment, or this just might be the end of the show. We'll find out. If it's the end of the show, I'll see you next week. If I'm gonna do one more segment, then I'll do one more segment, and I'll just figure out what it is. Woo. Okay, I decided to come back and give this show a real ending proper. Because as I was sitting here going through looking for the AEW All In ticket sales in Texas, I came across the fact that TNA is going to be doing Slammiversary in USB Arena in Belmont Park, New York. TNA's first return to a large arena, a venue that has previously hosted high-profile events such as AEW's Forbidden Door pay-per-view, WWE Raw, UFC Fight Night, and several episodes of Dynamite. The Rebellion pay-per-view, Galen Center, Los Angeles, California, home of USC Trojans basketball team, and previously hosted by Ring of Honor in 2023, which drew over 4,400 attendees. So they're really kind of like trying to compete here, it looks like. Saturday Night Main Event was a complete sellout, it looks like. And I'm still looking for, because WrestleTix, I just want to say right now, WrestleTix on X, formerly Twitter, is a fantastic, fantastic site to try to get a bunch of things. Like right here, I'm looking at 9 hours ago, WWE Royal Rumble, February 1st in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. 5,704 tickets available, current setup for 52,054 people. 46,350 tickets were distributed. So that's damn good. I'm trying to find out here again, like I said, where where this uh, stuff is at, and I'm sorry, but I wanted to talk about mainly big venues. And it's really crazy to me that all of these wrestling companies are kind of struggling to break 1 million views, or they're struggling to break uh, 2 million watchers on Raw sometimes. But we're getting a shit ton of people online watching these events and these shows. And I'm sitting here looking at this right now, GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, the People versus GCW at Hammerstein Ballroom. Like, GCW's going to Hammerstein. That's insane to me. 10 years ago, nothing like this would have happened. Wrestling is at the forefront right now of some of the most crazy things. Like, I'm just sitting here looking at all this. There's setups for 20,000 people, and there's only 4,000 tickets left, or something like that, for all these different shows. And even Collision is starting to sell some shows. They're starting to do their thing. Dynamite's starting to do their thing. There's let's just say right here for this Dynamite that's coming up in a few days. Right now, there's, as of 2 days ago, there was 524 tickets available. That's it. So they're doing their thing. It's just that, it's, I guess, taking a little bit longer than some people would have liked. I'm not sure, but this is kind of annoying me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry that this is taking so long. I really just want to find out how many tickets were sold so far to All In Texas, and it's been like 4 minutes of kind of rambling, but not really. It is what it is. But I am very impressed at these companies that are trying to take their wrestling into bigger areas, and they're trying to take their names and get marked. Like, it's really great. Um Hold on. It's, I don't know. Nothing's coming up here. It's kind of pissing me off. The last thing I saw was like 34,000. So I don't know. Either way, AEW is still trying to have a big come up, and I think 2025 is going to be a good year for them. I think that they're going to kind of batten down the hatches and maybe get some real people in place that can help out backstage, that can help out with Tony Khan and everything that he's going through, because he's got a lot of pressure, right? This dude, eh, he's got millions and millions and millions of dollars that he's just playing with. And it, he's got to succeed. I don't think he's understanding what success is, though. Because the simple fact that he's on television, if the fact that he's been on longer than Nitro on Turner Networks, that says something. Well, not yet. Not yet. I'm sorry. Ironically enough, the March 26th episode of Dynamite will make him the longest running entity on TNT. I'm sorry, not Turner Broadcasting, TNT, because TBS, we all know, Saturday night wrestling and all that shit. Um, AEW right now is a little engine that could, even though they're the number 2 promotion in America, they weirdly enough still kind of feel like number 3 behind TNA, in my opinion. I don't know. Mm. But here I am yawning again, and that must mean that it's time to go, because I've just been rambling for the last few minutes. Not really. you understand what I'm saying. These shows are ridiculous. The fact that we're getting WWE in baseball arenas, getting AEW in baseball arena or stadiums, I'm sorry, is unbelievable. Like, I never thought we'd get back to a point where we would see professional wrestling in these areas. And weirdly enough, selling more than they did when Ric Flair and all these other people were in baseball stadiums previously. We're getting more tickets being sold now to these things than we did in the late 70s, early 80s when they were flying helicopters in and walking to home plate, and it looked like it was this big deal because 20,000 people were there or 15,000 people. Most of the stadium was empty, but nobody gave a shit because professional wrestling was in the baseball stadium. But right now, we're living in an era where these stadiums are actually being filled. These football stadiums, these baseball stadiums, all these different things are being filled with professional wrestling fans from around the world. Remember when WWE's big venue was Madison Square Garden? And every WrestleMania, like the anniversary WrestleManias were there. You know how small it would feel if WrestleMania was held in Madison Square Garden now? That's kind of shitty to say, right? Like if WWE held WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden for WrestleMania 50, it would feel like such a fucking downward event. And that's saying something because Madison Square Garden is the world's most famous arena, right? So why would it feel like that? I don't know. Maybe that's something to think about until the next time we talk. But until then, I'm Rob. I don't have a crazy catchphrase or anything like that yet. Just give me a like if you like it. The next episode, my mic might be better quality. I literally just wanted to record and I didn't dig out any of my shit. So now this first episode is going to sound horrible compared to the rest. Unless you guys like this. If you like this recording style, I'm just using a lapel mic on my laptop. If you guys like this, let me know. Shit. If I gotta put in a whole bunch of fucking effort to record stuff and just kind of slap it out there, fuck yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. And real quick, was LA Knight exposed? Like, did he get too much too quick? Not be able to handle it? Because, like, what the fuck, right? I don't know. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Go away, that's all I got. Hey, this is the part of the show where it's the end. And I gotta tell you to like, follow, subscribe, do all that great shit. A wrestling podcast. Look it up everywhere. Rob, I'm out.